If you feel like you're doing everything right, working full-time, paying your bills, trying to save, but somehow life still feels harder every year, you're not imagining it. The middle class isn't suddenly bad with money. The math itself has changed, and once you see why, everything starts to make sense. Across the world, millions of people are asking the same question. How am I earning more than I used to, but affording less? Groceries cost more. Housing feels unreachable. Savings don't grow the way they used to. And even small emergencies feel dangerous again. This isn't about luxury spending. It's about basics: food, shelter, transportation, security. To understand what's happening, we need to look at how the middle class used to work and what quietly changed. For decades, being middle class followed a simple formula: a stable job, a home you could afford, rising wages over time, and enough left over to save. You didn't need to be rich. You just needed predictability. Pay increased gradually, expenses were manageable, and ownership, especially home ownership, was achievable. That predictability is what's disappearing. At first glance, wages did rise, but when you adjust for inflation, for housing, food, healthcare, and transportation, real purchasing power barely moved. In many cases, it went backward. Housing costs rose faster than income. Healthcare premiums grew faster than raises. Education costs exploded. Transportation became more expensive to maintain. So while paychecks grew slowly, the cost of simply existing grew faster. This is the first crack in the system. Housing used to be the anchor of the middle class. Rent or mortgage payments were predictable, and eventually ownership meant stability. Today, housing behaves differently. Prices rise faster than wages. Down payments grow larger. Interest rates magnify costs. Rent tracks the highest bidder, not the average worker. When housing stops being attainable, the middle class loses its foundation. Instead of building equity, people build rent payments, and rent doesn't come back to you. As costs rose faster than income, something filled the gap. Debt, credit cards, auto loans, student loans, buy now, pay later. Debt used to be a tool. Now it's a bridge, covering everyday expenses. But interest compounds quietly. What feels manageable at first becomes permanent monthly pressure. The middle class didn't borrow to get rich. They borrowed to stay afloat. Saving used to be the safety net. But when essentials consume most income, saving becomes optional and fragile. Emergencies erase progress. Inflation erodes balances. Returns struggle to outpace rising costs. The result? People aren't irresponsible. They're stretched thin, and thin margins mean one problem can undo years of effort. No single moment caused this. It was gradual. Global competition reshaped wages. Technology increased efficiency, not security. Costs shifted from institutions to individuals. Asset prices inflated faster than income. None of this feels dramatic day to day. But over decades, the gap compounds, and compounding works both ways. The middle class didn't disappear overnight. It's being squeezed slowly. People didn't stop working hard. They didn't suddenly fail. The rules changed, quietly. Understanding that isn't about fear. It's about clarity, because once you see the system clearly, you stop blaming yourself for outcomes that were never just personal. More videos breaking this down are coming.